Okay. Testing. I did something.
First pitch, 105.
Oh, I think we're good. Let me turn game sound down. All right, I turned the game sound down.
Oh, I think we're good. Let me turn game sound down.
I'm gonna go to like.
All right, I turned the game sound down.
Okay. All right. I think we're good to go. You guys let me know if I need to adjust anything. Sorry about that. Stream number 3 of the career here. Oh, and we're not connected. We are not connected. Quick re. All right, listen. It's Thursday night. Okay. And I am off work tomorrow. So I may or may not have a couple cold beers. And I may or may not have a generational starting pitcher and a young man by the name of Kirby Mauer that we need to check in on. Let's just put it that way. So, picking up where we left off. Spoiler alert, if you have not seen the Twins rebuild, this is a spoiler alert. So we beat the Dodgers in a Game 7, and it seemed like, I mean, the roster was on the cusp for a long time, and then we get John. Thank you, Scarecrow. Scarecrow, I started working on BBJ's next video, so it's, I would say, sometime mid next week. Be on the lookout. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Yeah, it's so first it'll be the first full season for our guy, and I have started filming. So I'm very excited about it. I'm hoping that I can get that series to take off more and more because I'm having a lot of fun doing it. So I think first move here in the offseason, we've got to re-sign Aranda for a couple years because this guy was a monster, and he is also a Tampa Bay Ray. How's it going, Jake? OG. How you doing, Jake? Is anybody else off tomorrow? All right, let's into the offseason. Okay, so I think we'll probably let Weatherholt walk because I remember it's been about a week or so, but I remember this guy has got to come up and play shortstop, Carlos Escobedo, which means we either put Tate at second or we put Guardado at second. I don't love Guardado's defense, so we probably keep him DHing. Whole weekend off. Very nice. Very nice. Oh, I can heart this. I can heart this chat. Let me go ahead and do that real quick, Scarecrow. I could also put you in timeout. I'm not going to do that, of course. I don't even know the power that I have here. Now I can't get out of it. No, I can't get out of it. There we go. Okay, so yeah, I remember this guy, Escobedo. I just know for sure. Well, let me just make sure. I guess I don't know for sure. We want to bring Aranda back though, because you guys, if you saw the rebuild, first base with the Twins here is just a war zone. I don't even know what this guy's doing. 41 overall for Greg. Currently wasting 3 hours of my life watching the Tigers lose. Yo, the Tigers came to town against my Rays at the Trop like a month ago, and you guys beat the crap out of us. And I was like, what is going on? What is going on here? All right, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do something that I never do. I'm going to tender Aranda a qualifying offer for a year. And God, 28 million? I am not going to do that. I don't think he's going to be asking for. He's asking for 25 for 3. I don't love that. 26 for 2. Maybe I will tender him a qualifying offer. Let's go ahead and do that. Steer. God, he was so good in this rebuild too. Look at this. 974, 765, 865. 5.3 WAR last year. Yeah, no, the Tigers, you guys have a good lineup. It feels like everything that can go wrong has been going wrong for you guys. I really think so. But, Scooble's back. There's still a time before the trade deadline. But if you guys decide you want to trade Scooble, just let the Rays know. I think we'll give Aranda a qualifying offer, and we'll figure out the rest here. Let me sim to free agency. Let's open up our options here. Okay, so 40-man wise, Cesar Sanchez starting pitcher, Martin Madrid starting pitcher, Riley Quick, not worried about him, Daryl Bankston. Okay, so he's projecting nicely. Let's get him on the 40-man. We may end up trading some of these guys. How's the game sound? You guys hear me flipping through the menus? Is it okay? Is it decent level? I meant to get some no copyright background music for this, and I did not do that. Where's my budget at? Because I don't want to go too. Oh wow, we are wide open. We are wide open. Last year for Bryce Miller, he's regressing. Tigers had such a bad May that even though we're playing a bit better, we're still so far behind. Yeah, but there is time. The trade deadline is not till August 3rd this year. So you've got a month, pretty much a month from today. Wow, Miz is a free agent. Why is he only pitching 150 innings? Did he get hurt? 1.4 whip? 12 Ks per 9? Wow. How much does he want? 41? I feel like I can really work in-house here because I like to not completely blow my budgets in these. I like to try to make it, somewhat of a challenge. All right, I need to add Cesar to the 40-man. I know he was Rule 5 eligible. We want him in there. And Martin just is a strange build, isn't he? What's his total potential? How good could he go? 85. Kind of want to trade him, I think. Just a weird build going on there. So the super bullpen should be able to add a couple guys now. Ruben Colon. Control is not good, but I think he can make do without it just because everything else is so good. His potential went up to A. Let's give this guy a shot. We'll put this guy in AAA. Keep him, well, he is 23. Keep him in AA, though. Keep him in AA. You can put him into AA. Okay. Freddie Cruz is not ready for the show and probably not ready for AAA with that contact still in the 40s, so he will stay in AA. Robert McGinnis can go to AAA. Sorry, it just takes me a minute here when I fire the stream up because, you know, I record the rebuilds over a week or so, and then I edit, like, usually I edit kind of slowly throughout a week or a few days, and then I have like I'll do like a 10-hour session just ripping Zins, just rebuilding my ass off. So I have to remember what the roster is, or what the team's looking like. Lineup wise, yeah, the Red Sox are really struggling. And, you know, what's his name? Oh yeah, Huey. I forgot about my guy Huey. Wilson Contreras, or I don't know if it's William or Wilson. I mean, Cade Cavalli crossed the line during that for sure, but Contreras is a malcontent. That guy is a malcontent. He is looking for trouble. So Kirby's ARB eligible. What do you think? Should we go ahead and extend Kirby? Should we give him a 5-year deal? I think we probably should. 900 OPS back-to-back years, 5 WAR back-to-back years. And what do I have coming behind him here? So we know about Freddie, but he could actually play short someday. Nobody's coming up at third. Carlos Escobedo's coming up, but he's going to play actual short, and we'll probably trade Salthazine. It's Wilson, Williams the catcher on the Brewers. Okay, thank you. Yeah, Wilson. Yeah, I mean, Cavalli crossed the line. Like, that's just, you know, you cannot say that. But but Contreras is always looking for trouble, man. Always looking for trouble. Okay, so let's look at the lineup. Oh my God, where is my team? Where is my team? Kirby should be higher up at this point. I know he doesn't have a lot of speed, but he's got great, at least against righties. I mean, he's elite against righties. So is Walker. I kind of want to put Walker in the cleanup spot this year. And then Guardado is a little better against lefties, but still solid. So I think Tate is going to play second base this year. And then I need a left fielder, which Florentino's only okay. Gonzalez could play left. Let's give this guy a chance. Let's give him a chance. I don't think he's really played at all. And then I want my shortstop, Escobedo. So this guy's going to be a stud. This guy's going to be a stud. Yeah, Jake, I do want to do that. I'm not the only person that does those now. So, but yes, I will do that at some point. I feel like I don't have that many good prospects. We've got a few guys coming up. Who's this guy? Ariano. I must have drafted him last year. Oh. In the 5th round? I got this guy in the 5th round. He's the #1 prospect. I don't necessarily agree with that. Gonzalez is close. Cruz is pretty close. Elmo, I don't know about Elmo. Maybe. And then Escobedo's coming up, who I think is going to be really good. So he's going to play short this year. And then we want to re-sign Aranda to play first, and I think that's going to be our lineup. It's weird that Escobedo's vision is so low. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah, it was. So let me think back. It was a subscriber back when I had like, 50 subs or so, somewhere around there, just right in the beginning. You were really early as well, Jake. You might have been like in the first 100 or so. If I'm thinking back right. But it was right around then. And a subscriber MW wanted a Tigers rebuild. And I was like, how can I do, because I'm always trying to like do something, a little different whenever I can. And I was like, what could I do? And then because I knew Scooble was going into his last year, I'm like, well, what if I just did a rebuild where it was only Scooble? And then I built the roster, and I kind of feel like going forward, I need it because it's one man only. I kind of feel like I need to do one free agent instead of three that I used to do. Like one free agent, maybe. Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm gonna give Kirby a 5-year deal though. Take him through 31. He's just getting into ARB. But I mean, let's build around him. Luis Ruiz has not performed as good as he can. In that last year, if you remember from the rebuild, if you guys were watching it last season, he lost his job to Kevin Kelly in the bullpen. And then he blew a playoff game for us. So we're just going to go year by year for Ruiz because it's only a matter of time before he has a great year. We're just going to go year by year with Ruiz here. Jenkins is tempting to extend as well. And that could kind of be our core between Mauer and Jenkins. Now 729, 729, 811. But he's still improving, and he's given us 3 WAR in like not a great year. How much does he want? 27 for 5? Yeah. Yeah, you definitely were, Jake. Yeah, it was very early. Jake, were you on the I think there was a Jake that was in Buy Me a Coffee. You have to tell me if that was you. All right, we're going to give another year for Tate. I mean, when is the year that Kim and Eddie's going to... Oh, he was actually good last year. All right, I'll bring him back. This is getting kind of expensive, but I think we can afford this core, especially coming off a World Series title. Huey, my guy Huey. I do not want to give up Huey. He only pitches 140 innings. That's kind of like the one drawback with Huey. But he consistently gives us good ERAs. And yeah, I just think maybe we trade him next year in the last year of ARB. 13. All right, Huey. Vasquez. Oh, wow. I've had Yogo here forever. He's 32 now. He's just been so good. I think he's a back-to-back all-star in this. Yeah, 30 and 31. So we'll bring him back. I think I'm just bringing everybody back, guys. I really am. I don't want to do too much because this team's really good. And I don't want to mess with the mojo. What happened to Ed? Oh, is he one of these guys? You guys ever see a player where they just seem to go every other year? Like there's something in the code where it's just like literally every other year. They have a great year and then they have the worst year ever. Does anybody else have that? Because I think that, what do you think? You guys willing to bet that Ed's going to have a good year? Just because he has the 6 ERA, the 2 ERA, the 5 ERA. Let's test it out. He's only asking for a 3. And I think I mean, this is looks better as, if not as good as anybody that I'd get in free agency. So Ashton Roberts. He's only 22. I brought him into the show at 18. Last year, 1.9. How much does he want? 9.2. Yeah, I really just want to keep this core. So I'm just going to bring pretty much everybody back. We don't need Sogard. And I don't think I need Tobias Myers. So I think we'll let Tobias Myers and Nick Sogard go. So John Isaac is our generational pitcher, my first in MLB 26. I don't really want to give him a mega deal right this second. Hell of a year, though. We're just going to renew him for now because everything else is getting really expensive, so try to free up some space for him in the future. I just do not trust to put the renewal on auto with the CPU. I just don't trust it. I've been working on a video that I cannot say that I have been working on for months. And through that video, I feel like I've learned, like I've been testing a lot of things about the game mode. And sometimes you just cannot trust the CPU to renew your contracts. Just renew all the high potential guys and then go one by one for everybody else. Randy Rodriguez. Yeah, he's got to be hurt this year, right? I have not seen him with the Giants at all. He's got to be hurt this year. I think maybe he had Tommy John, now that I'm racking my brain here, because he was so good. He was really, really good. Okay. I know I want to renew him. Does Conrad have options left? He does. So we'll renew him. This guy might get taken in the Rule 5, but we will renew him. And then is Acuna? Yeah, I don't think he'll get taken. We'll renew him. Who's this guy? So I gave Arana the qualifying offer, but we'll put him on the board. And we'll see if he accepts it. Because I don't really want to go more than 2 years. I know that if I give him a huge deal, he's going to start regressing on me. I just know it. So, but his potential did just go up to A. And when I signed him, he was at like 87 overall. Can we get Cedric Mullins? I don't know if he is still in the league. Let me see if he's still in the league here. Where's the player search? League, player search. Here we go. Cedric Mullins is not in the league anymore. So, unfortunately, we cannot get Cedric Mullins. All right, let's go ahead a week. I want to see if Aranda accepts this. Okay, nothing yet. Sal Stort. We could sign Sal if Aranda doesn't accept. I really like Sal Stort. I really, really like Sal Stort. Oh my gosh, he's a monster. He's a monster. Let's get him on the board. Whoa. Do I have a full rotation? Isaac Miller, Francisco Miller. I didn't even realize I had two Millers the whole time. Caminiti. I don't need Myers because I can put Yogo in long relief. We are probably going to need one reliever. Maybe I can just grab one in the Rule 5. I think I've got all the closers up that I want up. I didn't have any relievers hiding in here. I guess I could try to trade Myers and Sogard because I don't really need them. Is Tobias Myers closing for the Mets? Why is Myers a closing pitcher? Devin Williams is the closer, right? Taylor, you working tomorrow? Thank you, Advil PM. Baller name. Baller name. That's very nice of you. Thank you. Yes, it is a tough balance. I feel like I've sacrificed some of my social life to try to make some of these videos, for sure. But I'm enjoying it, and so just gonna keep doing it. Really, if there's not, that's just how I'm feeling. Who was the other guy I want to trade? Sogard. Maybe we can find a closer. Maybe somebody will give me a closer on the low for these guys. All right, so who wants a reliever and can Sogard play third? He can. I don't really want to yoink somebody from the Rockies. They're not looking for this kind of guys. Frank Reddy. Frank Reddy. I don't think that trade's going to work, though. What do the Cardinals want? They're looking for young. Okay, okay, here we go. Reliever, second baseman. They don't have anybody, though. Reliever, first baseman. Alfonso Torrero. He could play. We'll try that. If not, I could keep Sogard as well. I think I could just renew all of these contracts. How many people are on my roster? 93. So we got to let somebody go. Rob Boswell, you're out. So I can't hear the stream. I think I asked this before. I can't hear. So tell me if like the menus are crazy loud as I'm shuffling through here. I turned the game sound down to minus 37 decibels. So hopefully it's okay. But you just tell me. You're not working tomorrow, Taylor? Nice. Me neither. Somehow. I am not reading the terms and conditions. I have read every single one of these too many times. Too many times. You can't hear it. You can't hear the menu. You can't hear the menu. Really? I had okay. Do I need anybody else on the 40 man? I mean, let's just add Madrid to the 40 man, whatever. I got plenty of room. That should be it. So Kirby has not accepted his deal. Do not play hardball with me, Kirby. Come on, man. What do we have here? What do we have here? All right. Jonathan Aranda has decided to decline the qualifying offer and remain a free agent. Okay. Sal? They're already on Sal? He's asking for 8 years. I'm not interested. Miz is a Padre. Oh, my cam. My face cam. This thing is always messing around. I don't know. It might be out of focus for a little while. I think I need to get a new cam and a new mic. All right, so we need a Ronda. I'm going to give him a 2-year deal. I'm going to give him a 2-year deal for 26. And we'll see how he feels about that. In the meantime, who else? Is anybody in here that we want to just... What's my budget going to be? Because I don't want to go to like a trillion. 148. So Walker and Kirby both accepted. So this is kind of our core. Obviously, our generational starter, John Isaac, will be part of the long-term core here. So no question about that. I think we've got room to take on... We're at 140, and I'm going to sign a Ronda for 28. So I don't really want to go too much higher. I think we're just going to focus on Aranda. Let me up these deals. Huey, or I'll just offer him Arb. And I think I do want to sign... Maybe we could go hard on a closer. There's really... Oh, here's Randy. There's Randy. He has to be hurt in real life. He has to be, right? Useta. It's really good. Graceffo. Maybe. Grant Taylor has been awesome this year. Awesome. Don't love the stats, though. Connor Phillips, no. Kind of want to try out Gordon Graceffo for a year. We'll put a little money in the pen because we are going to need somebody back there. Trade rejected. I think I got a different idea, actually. We need a first baseman for when Aranda's done. Need to find a first baseman in here for the future. I don't really. Why would? Who is this guy? Why do we have 86 fielding at first base? Get this guy at shortstop. What are we doing? Jared Jones now plays first? I feel like there's no first base. Oh, Bradford Chow. I remember scouting this guy. I feel like there's just no first base prospects in this entire save file. It might be a free agency only kind of first base situation because everybody else is untouchable, as always. So I think our first base depth chart is just going to be shot. I mean, I could sign, I could trade, I'll go for Choi. Why did I think Myers was a closer? I misread that. See if they like that. Yes, I need to offer them ARB. All right, here we go. Tell me if you can hear this right now. You should hear something that sounds like I'm in a slot machine. Come on, Aranda. Schlittler to the Blue Jays. Pretty good numbers. Wow, a 234. Wow. You guys think Schlittler wins Cy Young this year? I think Drew Rasmussen could sneaky win the Cy Young this year. I really do. I think my guy Drew Rasmussen on the Rays could win the Cy Young this year. I really do. Wow, there's competition for Aranda. I don't want to go 3 years, though. You didn't hear anything? All right, hang on. Let me check. Give me 1 sec. Game sound. It should be on. I want you guys to be able to hear it because I don't have any background music or anything. It's, you know, I want to give you a little bit of something. If I turn this up, let me do this. Okay, you guys should definitely be able to hear this now. You should definitely be hearing this. So tell me if this is too loud, and I'm really sorry if your ears just exploded. You should be able to hear me flicking between the menu. I'll wait for it to catch up because there's a delay. There's a delay on stream. Well, I didn't put a delay on it, but there's just a delay. Trade rejected. I could probably throw in a starter that's like Rule 5 eligible. Because I do really need to get a first baseman. Was that the Brewers, I want to say? That guy was on the Brewers? Why is everyone the best defender of all time at first base? I mean, that guy could fill in at first base, but I don't... Who was I trading with? Guardians. They don't want a starter, but I don't know. Let's just see what happens. What do you guys think about the trade hub? It's good, Adam? Okay, thank you. What do you guys think about the trade hub? Because sometimes I like it. I like that they did something. But other times I just really don't like it. All right, Johnny, come on. Trade accepted. Okay, so we cleared these guys out. So we have someone at first base that, like, can at least be there if Aranda's gone. He's not going to be great, but he could fill in. Huey has still not accepted his deal. Bazana to the Pirates. Wow. How's Bazana doing? Are there any Guardians fans here? How's Bazana doing? How you doing, Block? Any Guardians fans here? I feel like Bazana's doing pretty good. I feel like Bazana is doing pretty good. Thank you, Block. I really appreciate that. Can we sign Aranda? Please. I'm not going 3 years. I'm not going 3. I'm giving him the same deal. If he doesn't sign, am I screwed? Who else is at first? Oh, Kurtz is here. He's regressing, though. Regressing at 29 years old. Eldridge, we could also sign. So I'm not too... Murakami, we could sign. He's also regressing. Now, I guess he's 31. I mean, you could make the case, but I really would have thought they would have changed this logic a little bit by now, you know? All right, Johnny. Third time's a charm. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. So I think that's our lineup. Which I do really like. Ooh, I don't know if I want to go 3 lefties in a row, though. So Carlos can go in the 4. I mean, he's not a typical power hitter. Yeah, I'll look back at it, Block. Let's see about the service time. But still, it's just, you know, I mean, think about somebody like, I don't know, like Bryce Harper. You know, how much service time does he have at this point in the MLB? Like 12 years, something like that, 11 years. And I mean, maybe he's regressed a little bit, but not to the point where it just starts falling off a cliff, you know? Who am I putting in the 5 hole? This feels like a weird player to put in the cleanup spot in Escobedo, but I don't want to go 3 lefties in a row. And I want Ashton Roberts. Well, he doesn't have to lead off. Could Escobedo lead off, maybe? Could Kirby lead off? What was his on base last year? 370, 370? We could go Kirby lead off. No, I don't like that either. I think I like this. And then against lefties, Roberts is definitely in the 1. Mauer will go down a little bit against lefties. Guardado is going to be... Okay, so let's put Guardado in the 4. Alvarez in the 6. I could maybe put Escobedo in the 2 against lefties. Aranda's not as good against lefties. Although, actually, he's improved to the point where he actually is. Mauer in the 5 feels disrespectful. Let's do that. What am I missing? Outfield. Okay. I like this. I think this is a good lineup. I like it. And then the rotation, we just need one more reliever. We're going to go Ruiz as the closer. Colon, I don't know if I can trust him in high leverage. I'm going to go Estevan here. We'll put Vasquez here. Yogo in long relief, and then we'll sign Graceffo. Bump it up a little. Yes, I do post the VODs. Yep. Yep. Okay, I think we're through this offseason. I think we are through this offseason. I want to try Graceffo in high leverage. I think he can do it. I feel pretty confident about that profile. I don't think he's had his best year yet, Graceffo. I mean, this is a good year right here. I still don't think he's had his best year, which I think we might get it. He is completely gassed. He's dead. Look at him. He's dead. He's got no energy. All right. Okay. That should be it. Let's see who gets the first pick this year. Rangers move up 7. We'll check the Rule 5. We'll check the Rule 5. What do you guys think? Is it time for a Rule 5 only rebuild? Has the time come? I really like the ones that Ann Ortiz has done. Oh, Kate Cavalli, we could get the we could get the problem himself. Hurston Waldrep. If the control was a little better, I'd think about it. Bowden Francis, Rule 5 legend. I don't think I want anybody here. Oliver Dunn. Rays on the Rays. They actually gave him a good profile here. If this was a Rule 5 only rebuild, I would pick him. I don't think we need anybody here. Huey Miller is really holding out, huh? This guy is playing hard to get. JJ to the Mariners. Waldschmidt to the Mets. Burns to the Brewers. I watched that game a little bit today. Brewers, Reds. Yuri to the Tigers. Hurts to the Cubbies. See, this is just where it gets a little blocked. This is where it gets... Oh, I meant to check the service time. So Kurtz, right, is regressing a lot, right? Went down 7 overall this year, right? 7 overall this year. He's 29 years old, okay? Went down 7 overall. And the Cubs just signed him for 9 years. I mean, they signed him for 9 years. Like, they're just going to be screwed in like 5 years. Maybe less than that. So, I don't know. It's just not perfect. More than anything, though, if I could speak to Dr. SDS face to face, I would say we need an online franchise where 30 people sign up and you have your team. And the game, let's say, or the season lasts, let's say, a month, right? And different stages are like a week. So there's like a week off season. Then there's like a week scouting and drafting. Then there's like a week, second half of the year. And then like a week is the playoffs. And it just, or maybe it should be even a shorter time span than that. They could figure this out though. So I sign up for a league. I pick my Rays, and now I'm competing against all of you and 29 other people. We're all competing. We all have the same draft class, the same free agents, the same everything. That, if there is anything that we could get, it would be that. And could you imagine the content from that too? Just like a little bit selfishly, but more than anything, just how fun that would be. If you're watching me compete against, like, what if I was in, a league with like Scrawny and Big Irrelevant and, Ant Ortiz, like we're all in a league competing. I mean, that would just be the coolest thing. It really would. It really, really would. I cannot think of something that they could do other than that would get more people playing franchise. You could decide whether or not there could be a play element to it. Like there could be 2 different leagues, sim only, and then one where you actually play. And let's just say it's all on, there's different levels. So there's, a Hall of Fame difficulty, all-star difficulty. I just can't think of anything more than that would get people playing more franchise. Although I did see a poll at some point, or some data that SDS released, and it was something about, you know, percentage of game time played in each of the game modes, and franchise was like 40% of time played for all the player base. And that made me really happy. It really did. I was very excited to see how many people were playing franchise. So, just want to make sure I'm training. If you guys aren't doing the training, this is actually really important. They could definitely do some more with like a developmental lab kind of thing. I know OOTP has that, and at some point I am going to play a little OOTP on the channel. I've never played it. So you can see the title. You can see the title, and it'd just be idiot plays OOTP for the first time. you can picture it. You can picture it. Yes. How you doing, Papa? Yeah, training is clutch. You have to go through and do the training. You really do. A lot of times I'll leave prospects in single A for, you know, a couple years and just train, because then there's no risk of them losing their you know, not like they automatically are going to go up 4 or 5 overall. So now, that being said, you have to get them in the minors eventually. I don't know this for sure, but from my gut says that if you don't get them into the minors eventually, their potential will start to go down. So you can't just leave them down there, you know, forever until they're 90 overall. I think I do want that guy on that. So hitting so I'll switch it up a little bit for the hitters, but for the pitchers, I am almost always on pitching coach session. Almost always, because really nothing else matters, unfortunately. I'm really bummed to say that. When they teased, you know how they were talking about stuff? Let me see. You see the stat right here? Stuff, right? I really thought that going into this year, when they were teasing this, that stuff was going to mean something. So like a guy's like, okay, why is Mizorowski so good at pitching? Because he throws 1,000 miles an hour. In this game, it does not matter if your starter has an 88 mile an hour fastball or a 100 mile an hour fastball. So when they teased stuff going into this year, I was really amped up because I thought I was going to have to start looking at the right. I wish I could point with a cursor, but the whole right side of this guy's screen. When I'm scouting and drafting players or looking at players, I don't even look at the quality of their pitches. Like none of it, unfortunately, none of it matters. Now, if I'm playing the game, because I'm sim only, right? But if I was playing, maybe it would be more fun to have somebody who's just throwing gas, and I appreciate that. But like, let me show you John Isaac. This guy's generational, right? His curveball's a 43, his slider's a 54, his sinker's a 61, his four seam's a 70. None of that matters. It's just his, and really, it's only, for the most part, it's only hits per 9 in control. For the most part. Not completely, right? But I guess I'm really a little on my high horse tonight. Forgive me. But what I'm trying to get at is there is no point of me training Huey Miller's clutch, because it's just not going to matter compared to all the other stats. So yeah, is it fun? Yes. And when I first started playing and I was first learning the game and watching guides and stuff, I was like really married to optimizing all these stats and stuff. And now I have a little more leeway with some of the guys that I sign, because especially when I'm recording and making videos, I'm trying to build a story, right? I'm trying to tell a story about, like, when I in the Twins rebuild, if you've seen it, when I signed David Bednar, I signed him, and I'm saying I'm building the stories for me as much as I am the video, right? Which is what we're all doing in our franchise. And I signed David Bednar for the pen, and I said in the video, I think we need a veteran presence, an experienced guy in the back end of the bullpen. Does the sim give a shit about that? No. but that's the fun, you know? That's the fun. So, all right, I'm done yapping. Let's get into this season. Quick save. Gosh, I really want to tease you guys with something, but I can't. I gotta save it. You're just gonna have to trust me that someday soon you're gonna see a rebuild that is gonna blow your mind. All right, let me get a beer. 3-minute break, everyone. Get your snacks, get a beer, and I'll see you right back. I can't tell you, TM. I can't tell you, TMF, because I have to keep it secret. I cannot let anybody beat me to this idea. It's the best idea I've ever had. It's the best idea I've ever had, and I've had it for a long time. I worked on it in MLB 25 and didn't get where I wanted to go with it. Okay? And in the background, I have been working on it this whole time in 26. So that's all I'm going to say. It's something that's I researched. I don't think it's ever been done for MLB 26. I don't think it's ever been. No, sorry, for MLB the Show and franchise in general. Okay, so I'll tease you with that. I've never seen anybody do it. If it was, it did not look. It did not show up in the first 100 results for when I searched for it. There are people who've done it in other games, and I'll give you this hint. How about that? I'll give you this hint that. It's a common thing that people do. It's a common thing that people do, but no one's ever done it for MLB The Show franchise. That's all I'm going to say. Okay? Wow, we are taking L's. There we go. 17 and 12 spring training. Ooh, I got a lot of pitchers on the 40, man. Hopefully everybody has options. This guy does not have options. Well, we'll see if he clears waivers. CJ Culpepper might not have options either. No, he does. Madrid definitely has options. Sanchez definitely has options, right? I just added him to the 40, man. Where do I have too many guys? Graceffo, our closers, our catchers, Dave Eubanks. Oh, I did have this first baseman. I forgot I traded for this guy at some point. So, okay, if we didn't get a Ronda, we would at least have something. Whew. I need to fill out AAA a little bit. We need a third baseman and a shortstop in AAA. I'm a little light on my roster, to be honest with you. I can release a couple guys, so let me release this guy, and then we'll sign a third baseman and a shortstop for AAA. Thomas Page. Guy can throw. Tell you what about Thomas Page. This guy can throw it. Welcome to the team. Juan Rosas. This guy can pick it. This guy can pick it. Welcome to the team. And then AA, we need some starters. Oh my gosh, I didn't realize I had all these guys. Let's get him down. Let's get him in AA. We'll put him in AA. Sorry guys, I never realized how long this actually takes me until I turn a stream on. You can imagine me just filming, just deliberating. All right, maybe this guy can go to AA. A little worried about the hit there, the discipline here. Okay. I still have too many guys in the MLB. Who's up here that... Who's up here that should not be up here? DeBarge? No. Conrad? Yeah, we can send Conrad down. No, not AA. AAA. Okay. Okay. All right, do you guys want to see opening day? How you doing, JC? Do you guys want to see opening day with generational pitcher John Isaac on the mound? We don't have to watch all of it, but just want to get a feel for some of my streams if you guys are interested in gameplay. Because for now, I may do I've got some dedicated stream only ideas, but for now I don't really play. But in the future, I could also play. I think so. I've watched a couple of franchise streams like on Twitch, and I think most of the franchise guys play, right? If you guys watch anybody else, let me know. Because I'm trying to decide, because at some point I do want to stream a little more. I really like the YouTube videos just because it's like I get the chance to build a story like that. And it's rewarding, you know, to put it together and present it like that. So I don't know when I stream if I want to play at all. Not today, but in the future. Maybe a little bit. 3 innings might even be a lot. Oh, I'll do quick counts for sure. Yeah. I always peek behind the curtain. I always do quick counts when I'm recording. Because it takes too long. I'll never get a video out. Let's go see John. Let's go see how John starts the year. Against the Reds. Oh, you know what? Sorry, I just teased you. I did not set up my minor league lineups at all. God damn it. All right, Dave. Jake. Conrad. Rosas. Ortega. Can he play third? Yeah. Conrad, Rucker, Eubanks, Roberts. Conrad, Rucker, Eubanks. Roberts. Roberts is playing left here? Okay. He can catch? Okay. Ortega, Santana, Rosas. Ortega, Santana, Rosas. Briseño, Olivar. Center field, second base, first base. Left field, third base, DH. Okay. Oh, only need to put one here. All right, who's it? What do I need? A DH. Oh, wait, no, I want him playing shortstop. Look at this guy's defense. Okay, for hockey, 2B, 2C productions, 2BC, just watch the games in crucial moments so it adds to the lore of the universe. Definitely better for a series than a one-off stream doing that. Yeah. Yep. I agree. Yeah, I had a couple. I do have some dedicated stream only ideas. At some point I think I know now that my computer can probably handle Twitch and YouTube at the same time, because Twitch is probably a better platform for me to stream on. Just kind of selfishly, just monetarily, from what I understand. But the thing is, everybody's here on YouTube, so like I don't want to just go to Twitch, But it's not like I'm loading up the stream, seeing dollar signs. It's for fun, but I want to do both. Is what I'm getting at. So I do have some ideas, and I think my little laptop can handle it. I think the little laptop that can handle it. Salas, Gonzalez, Ferrer. Oh, it's already set up here. Okay. Okay. All right, so the game sound might get crazy. Actually, let me turn this down because I think I had the menus down. You guys are going to have to tell me if this is blowing your ears off. It might. I'm just going to give you a sound warning now. Okay. All right, here we go. Opening day 2032, generational starter John Isaac on the mound, who I got with the 17th pick in that draft, by the way. 17th pick. 16 teams passed up on a generational pitcher. Unbelievable. Who is that? We're facing Wrobleski. Looks good. Looks really good. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. All right, let's see, how do I stream? How do I interact with the chat here? Let's see. Who you guys are rebuilding right now? What team are you rebuilding? Ground ball, that is not going to be in time. Ashton Roberts, that's why he's in the one hole, ladies and gentlemen. That is why he's in the one hole. Look at the wheels. Nationals, great choice. I cannot believe they're like the best offense in Major League Baseball. Wait, I didn't have a Ronda in the 2, did I? I didn't put a Ronda in the 2 against lefties. Well, he draws a walk. This is not, I don't think this is how I set up the lineup. Am I tripping? I might be tripping. I have had a couple of cold beers. Oh, Guardado. 3-run shot. We haven't even recorded an out this year. He goes Oppo. That is a homegrown talent right there. I want to say 2028 first rounder. Something like that. Second year in the league, coming off of a Rookie of the Year last season. Bartolo Guardado goes yard. And we are off and running right here. Great swing. There's Kirby. Has everyone here seen the Twins rebuild? If you did, you have to tell me what you think about just the whole concept. I was thinking about it, I'm like, all right, I really like this idea of, falling asleep, because I do that all the time. Like, I'll put a YouTube video on, and pass out. And so I was like, if I want to achieve this concept, I think no face cam, because I think you got to immerse yourself in the game and all the screens, right? I think one of the things I should have done is put the game sound on, so you would hear me flipping through the menus. I feel like there's something about that that's like soothing. You have to tell me what you think about that concept and that rebuild, because, I think the financial analyst rebuilds is a core type of video that I spend a lot of time on those, and those are kind of like a centerpiece on the channel. But then I love doing the challenge type of rebuilds, like the draft only, but it was the West region. I love those. And then that Twins one was kind of a more standard rebuild. But I'm like, how can I make this a compelling concept, that would be fun? Alvarez to short. Is that Edwin Arroyo over there? I think that is Edwin Arroyo over there. Okay, Escobedo. So this is our rookie shortstop, who we did not see in the video. He was going to come up this next year. He just was not quite ready. And we had too many good shortstops already on the team. So this is the guy to watch this year. Coming for Rookie of the Year, good defense, really good contact. I'm developing his power. Somehow his power's already gone up 2 overall. And we haven't even played a game. So I don't really know how that... Did that all happen in spring training? That is a line drive up the right field line, just foul. And he strikes out. First career at bat. Strike 3. All right. We're going to watch an inning of our generational starter, John Isaac, and then we'll get into this year. So he came up for the last month 2 years ago, and then his first full year last year, 213 innings and a 2.99 ERA. Good Lord. Wait, what? What is happening? I had Tate. Why are his stats... Do you guys understand this? Why are his stats so much higher? We haven't played at all. Is this like a... What is this? Have I never seen this before? We haven't played at all this year. This is opening day. but it's not showing his overall going up. Is this like a matchup of the day of some kind? And why did they just shuffle around my defense? All right, rookie shortstop. No, that's not, because that's Tate Southazine. I am so confused right now. I am so is anybody seeing this? I need help. Help me. What is happening? Ooh. John Isaac with the heater. He might win the Cy Young this year. That is a base hit. Jenkins makes the play. Bryce Harper on the Reds. How old is he? 39-year-old Bryce Harper with 19 years of service time. Not too bad last year. Not too bad.
Let's go, Bryce.
Got him. Got him. Clean inning for Isaac. Great start to the year. All right. We're going to sim through this game and... Oh, that's not what I meant to do. We are going to sim through this game and we are going to get into some drafting and scouting.
Ball four, take your base. Out. You're out. 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 You're out. That's ball four. Out. 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 You're out. Out. Three.
First run given up by Isaac, a solo shot. Jenkins with a... Oh, it's Southazine. We go back to back.
Three. You're out. 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 Three.
Isaac working into the 7th. I think he's going to get through the 8th as well. Nope, that's it.
Ball four, take your base. Three. That's ball four. Out. Three.
Vasquez for the save. Cologne comes in. All right, 6-1 win on opening day. I mean, great start. Great start. Okay. I still don't quite understand what happened here. Why they transition my guys out. So Isaac went 7 innings, 1 run, 7 hits, 2 walks, 8 Ks. And then Vasquez to Cologne. Maybe this is how I set this up. So you guys saw what I'm talking about, right? I'm not going crazy. When we were in that game, Southazine had like a stats boost that's no longer here. And it wasn't while he was like hitting or anything. Somebody let me know if you understand this, because I really am completely lost. Okay, Mauer's going to play third. Southazine at short. No. No, I got... Oh, I messed this up. I see why. Escobedo plays short. Salthazine plays second. Gonzalez plays left. Okay, that was on me. I set the lineup up wrong. But still, I don't understand why the stats were going up mid-game. That I did not understand. Okay. All right, let's get going. So we win opening day. Too many players in AAA. Too many pitchers in AAA. We win game 2. We sweep the Reds out of the gate, taking on the Braves. We have not lost a game. That's our first loss to my Rays. Slater DeBrun is up. Trey Morgan is up. The Rays have Seth Hernandez. Okay. The Rays signed Steer, Casas, DeBrun, Dingler, Trey Morgan. And Justin Crawford up there pinch running. All right. So we start the year 7-1. I think I might have turned. Hang on a second. Scouting manual. All right. So we've got a position player scout who can discover, another position player scout, and a pitcher scout. Can I get a better... I think I'm just going to do my standard strategy just for the stream. So let me just get a discovery guy. Okay. All right. Chat, do you read me? Do you copy? I haven't seen anything in a minute. Am I still alive? I am still alive. All right, I had to make sure. Hey, Jake. OK Bud sent a GOAT trophy for 1,000 jewels. I have to say, I don't know what that is, but thank you. This is the first time I've seen this. Sent a GOAT trophy. It sounds good. Thank you, bud. But have you been checking out the rebuilds? You don't know either. All right, that got me good. It has to be good. Thank you. All right. Let's scout and draft. So we're picking at 30 this year. We're just gonna discover international pitchers. I know that for a fact. Let's see what we can uncover. Wow, we have 8 picks, 30 and 31, because we got Rookie of the Year for Guardado. That's right, 59, 67. So we've got a lot of picks. I need a first baseman. In the farm system. This is not normally, like, I'm not normally thinking like, okay, I'm scouting for this position. Like, I'm usually just trying to find the best player available. Drew Galindo looks like he could rise up the board. There's a lot of zeros in this profile. We can come back around for him though. He's ranked 110th. So let me write this guy in the chat, Galindo, because I'll forget. I will forget. Couple cold ones. I'm going to forget the name. Let's just go position by position here and look kind of around the 30 rank and see if there's somebody. This guy's discipline looks way too good right out of the gate. And this guy's 91 sack bunt. But how do you have 91? How do you have 91 sack bunt and 0 drag bunt? Does anybody have a read on that? Jake, I did I have done a draft only rebuild in 25, and then I did a draft only rebuild where I could only pick players from the West region for MLB 26. If you have not seen that, check that out. That's one of my favorite videos I've done. That one was crazy. So the West region, I'll just show you guys this real quick. So watch me scroll through this class for a little bit. Just look, there's no, so one West. I mean, look how far I'm going. Still haven't seen a second West player. Still have not seen a second West player. There we go. So the 51st ranked player was West, and the 4th ranked player was West. So there was 47 players in between. So that was the pool of players I was working with for that rebuild. Yeah, check Jake. Check that one out. You're going to love that. You are going to love that. That is one of my favorite videos I've done. I wore like a Western outfit for it. Yeah, that was a banger. That was a banger. Oh my God, what is going on here? All right, we'll come back around for the closers. I'm getting enticed. So this guy I'm having a hard time getting a read on because I'd be really shocked if this guy's contact was 86 right out of the gate. And the discipline, I'm going to come back around to him. We looked at first base at the top here. I'm just kind of looking for players sort of in the 30 to 50 range. I'm going essentially right towards the more mid rounds because we pick at number 30. So I don't really want to waste too much scouting on players that I'm not going to be able to get, you know. This shortstop probably is somebody we could scout. I don't like that he has no contact against lefties, but there's zeros in his profile. You've probably heard me say that a million times. And you see how there's just no real outlier stats here. Plus he has that overall max overall of 70 and max potential at 99. So I'm pretty confident this guy will jump up the board. And then for my pitcher scout, we're going to look at a closer. This guy is just like, what is going on? Should we scout this guy just to see what happens? Because he's probably going to be like 88 overall with 89 potential. But I'm really curious. You guys tell me. I'll wait a sec. You tell me if you think we should scout Hank Diggs. He looks pretty locked in up there in the top left. A little bit of Billy Wagner in him. Yeah, Jake, I think he's probably going to fall down the board. Pretty rough. But I'm just so curious. Let's scout him. All right, week 2. Solid week. Couple L's. The Rays actually won this series against us. They've got Dingler batting 9th. That's kind of disrespectful. They have Vinny P on my Rays. Crawford hit 3 home runs. What? You're telling me Justin Crawford hit 3 home runs against me? Shifty, how you doing? Welcome in. I don't think Justin Crawford has 3 home runs in his major league career. And he just hit 3 home runs in 1 game. Oh, Jake, your scout messed that one up. That's what happened. That's what happened. So it can happen no matter what, but you have a much lower chance of that happening. So look at my top scout here, who I'm using to scout position players. You see his rating is 95 for position player. So his accuracy is really high. So it can still happen though. This guy can still get it wrong. It's just really unlikely. Or that player could have been injured. He could have been injured is also the other route. Thank you, Shifty. I'm doing great. I'm doing great. I got the day off tomorrow. I got some cold beers. Cheers. So I had a family friend made this koozie, like crocheted it. And I love it. I think it's so great. Yeah, Jay Craw has two homers in his career. And he just hit the 3 in one game. Are you a Phillies fan? Are you a Phillies fan, Jake? It's time for the big reveal, by the way. What is this guy looking like? Okay, so kind of what I thought here. So he's probably going to be like 83 overall with 84 potential. I'm drinking a beer called Funky Buddha. It's just a pretty light wheat beer. Pretty light wheat beer. Let me see. It's brewed in Fort Lauderdale, I think. I'm pretty sure it's brewed in Fort Lauderdale. Which I actually lived in South Florida for a little bit. And I just love it. I love it. But like typical light beers, I'll drink. I think my favorite is Blue Moon. If I'm just at a bar, I like a Blue Moon with an orange. Or I'll have whatever's kind of like a local beer is usually what I'll go for. I don't really like IPAs that much. I can do it. I don't really like it. So Clay Feliz is he's gonna jump up the board. You can just tell. I don't really love this guy that much, but just because of the contact, but the power is exciting. And if he has high potential, we could take him in the first round. Who did we discover? Nobody great. Nobody great. All right, let's look at a different closer because remember, my identity for this Twins team is all about having some insane closers. And I think Bill Willard, might be all right. So we'll give him a shot. Wow. All right, Yankees take a series from us. That's our worst week of the year. Right there, 4 L's. And yeah, there we go. Oh, second-ranked player in the class, Clay Feliz. All right, now it's kind of unlikely that he's going to fall to the 30th pick, to be honest, so we're going to have to find some more guys. But this is why when I have a late pick, I just immediately start looking mid-round. Because you find guys like this. You're born and raised in Philly. How about the turnaround? How about the turnaround from the Phils this year? You fired, God, what's his name? What's his name? You fired your coach. Rob Thompson? I think that's it. Maybe I think they call him Topper, maybe? I could be showing lack of ball knowledge here. Or I just nailed that. All right, we found one starter in Discovery who looks okay. Only one, though. But we'll start scouting international pitcher. And we'll do some other Discovery here. Yeah, I agree that Clay Feliz looks like a pretty good first baseman. Yeah, Topper, that's right. Topper. Yeah. So I mean, I think he just kind of had, it's one of those where he just fell on the sword, He just fell on the sword. Yeah, I agree. This guy looks like a first baseman, not really a shortstop. Really interesting player here. So if he falls to our pick, I'd take him. It's just, I don't know if I'd want him to play for me just because the contact is too low. It really is. So I think I was looking. So let's go back to kind of looking in that sort of 40-ish range. Blake it has good potential, but let me come back around to him. Keith Telshaw. We'll come back around to him. There's not too many options. Oh, here we go. Maybe, no, the arm strength is too high right out of the gate. There's really not that. Maybe Dan Sanchez. Maybe. Yeah, I'll scout Dan. All right. Your thing with Topper is that he never wanted the job. He was thrown into it after you fired Girardi, right? And it was the same situation back then, right? Where it was a slow start. Girardi gets fired. He takes over. And the season turns around. So I think your GM, who I'm also forgetting the name of, and I should know, I think that's kind of one of his strats in the back pocket. Like, all right, hang on, if I need to pull the trigger and fire somebody. Oh, here we go. We're back on. There we go. Perfect week. We're dominating teams. 10-4, 12-1, 5-0, 16-5 against your Phillies. Sorry, Jake. I'm going to check out your Phillies in a second. All right, we're going to keep scouting Dan. He might move up the board. We're looking at our starters. Not loving where the starters are heading. Let's check out the Phillies roster here. You guys tell me Mattingly's son. Okay. Hey, tell me what your guys, wait, your GM is Matting. No, who am I thinking of? Maybe I'm thinking of your owner. I'm going to look this up. Phillies front office. Dombrowski. I'm thinking of Dombrowski. The Pobo. And then there you go. Preston Mattingly. How about that? Sam Fuld. Super Sam Fuld. Legendary Tampa Bay Ray. And no wonder you guys have been so good. You guys ever notice how, this is not actually related to the Phillies, just generally speaking, you ever notice how many Rays front office people get poached to other teams? I mean, literally the Dodgers are as elite as they are because they stole Andrew Friedman from the Rays. And they have $8 trillion. That's another part of it. Tell me who your guys' favorite teams are in the chat. We're going to look at their roster. I want to start with the Phillies. All right, so you got Christopher Sanchez, also a former Ray, who we traded for Curtis Mead, who's now breaking out on the Nationals. Christopher Sanchez, he's still holding on here. Last year of the deal, he'll get another deal. Evan Carter. Wow. Is Evan Carter that good defensively in real life? My God, what roster am I using? I don't know. Aiden Miller, Moreno, Sloan, Beck, McGreevy. I don't know. You guys aren't looking too great here. I'm going to be honest. You guys are not looking too great, Jake. I don't know. I'm thinking the Gage Wood. Is he a Phillies prospect? Gage Wood. No, I don't think so. I don't think so. All right, Padres. Let's look at the Padres. Oh, that's right. You guys signed the Miz. Oh, you have Motion. You remember if you've seen the rebuild? I remember you guys drafted Patrick Motion. It's Mosheen, but I said Motion. It could be Motion. So this is what he's looking like. He has not fully developed. Just a toolsy player right here in the outfield. Is he having... Oh, he is struggling. He's struggling. That is tough. Yeah, this was first rounder from 26. You got Acuna. Colson Montgomery. Tatis still looking okay. This roster gave him no power because he hadn't hit any home runs this year. This roster gave him no pop because he just hadn't hit any homers. I have Tatis on my fantasy team. He's still been pretty good outside of not having the power, and now he's starting to hit some homers now. This guy would be Schwarber from the right hand. The problem is the discipline in the bottom right. Schwarber has 99 discipline. So that's the thing that's missing here. And that would make this guy a lot better. It would make him a lot better because he's chasing a ton. 98 Ks in 105 games. 243 on base. Yeah. I mean, it's not like James Wood strikes out like 34% of the time, you know, so just as a comparison. Maybe not as much this year. Schwarber does strike out a lot. But he walks a lot, you know, and then he hits at 800 feet. The Padres look pretty good. They look pretty good here. Yeah, he has 99. Okay, let me put it this way. He has 99 discipline because he doesn't chase outside of the zone, but he has, you see the vision stat. His vision is like 20 because he swings and misses a lot. Because he's taking like his A swing at all times. He doesn't really, like, how often does Schwarber slap one into left field for a single? Like, pretty much never. He's always trying to pull it as hard as he can, but only swinging at strikes. So, like, he won't chase. God, I wish I could share my screen with you guys. We could look at his, like, Savant page. All right. I know I've set this up. I can't risk it. I might blow up the stream if I try to do this. So Schwarber has a 14% walk rate, right? Which is 93rd percentile. He has a 25% chase rate, which is 76th percentile. So he doesn't chase out of the zone. However, he has a 35% whiff rate, which is 6th percentile. So he swings and misses a ton, but only swings in the zone. So that's why he has really good discipline, but he would have really low vision. That would be the type of profile that we're looking at here. Yeah, Shifty, that's as good as it gets. That's basically Yordan. I kind of forgot that you were a Phillies fan there for a second, Jake. I was just Phillies splaining to you. That's on me. That's on me. I was just completely Phillies splaining for like 3 minutes. All right, the other team was KC. Let's look at KC. Who was it that was a KC fan? Okay, Bud. Bobby Witt, still 99 overall. You do not see that too often. Usually these guys start regressing out of nowhere. 111 MVPs, Shifty? Oh my God. That is crazy. I do know Alexis Trujillo, of course. The legend. You know what was awesome is Big Irrelevant has like a custom Trujillo jersey, which I thought was just the coolest thing ever. Trey Savage is on the Royals. Rhino Rodriguez. Seiya Suzuki. Theo Gillen. This is the Rays' #1 prospect who just jumped into the top 10 IRL. Doesn't look too bad. You guys have a really high floor. This Royals team has a very high floor. Not as high of a ceiling. Only 199 overall. That is great, Jake. Good for you. What are you? Are you undergrad, postgrad? You have to tell me what you're thinking about doing. You want to work in baseball front office? All right, so we've now won 8 in a row, 9 in a row. All right, 9 in a row. Houston takes us down with Connolly early on the mound. 7 shutty from Connolly. That is a really crazy Astros roster. Beatty, Lyle, Cooper, Pratt, DeZenzo, Albies. All right. All right, Dodgers series here. Bryce Miller versus Yamamoto. We lose. All right. Francisco versus Schwellenbach. We lose. Damn. And Sanchez did not move up the board. Okay. So we're still scouting these pitchers. We haven't really discovered anybody great, which stinks. I do want to scout the central pitcher region, though, for sure. I'm gonna stop discovery now. And let's get let's get another pitcher scout. I'm just gonna start scouting central pitchers. And then we'll probably come around. No, actually, I'm not going to do that. I want another position player scout. I want to scout some more position players. So I can spend like 80 or like 90K. 90K or less. Give me somebody with 90. Okay. Oh, wow. Actually, that's great. That's great. Okay. Yeah, I want to scout more position players in this class. That's a little more fun, I think, for the stream. All right, let's go back through the positions again and go a little bit deeper into the class this time. I don't trust that guy. Who was my guy that I wanted? I typed it in the chat. Who was one of them? Galindo. I forget what position he was. I want to say first base. You're 1 semester away from your bachelor's in data science. Been working on a portfolio and a slideshow. And been working on a portfolio on the side to show some breakout models, and I'm working on my own type of war forecasting model for prospects. That is great. Good for you. That makes me really happy. I've always wanted to work in sports. Cool that you're going for it fully. Yeah, I would say connections is so important. That's so important. Not that I'm like 46 years old, but I can just tell you from the little bit of experience, I'm probably, a few years older than you guys. At least, Jake, I know. Connections and networking is just as important. So keep that in mind. All right, Richard, you are getting scouted. And where is my guy Galindo? He was a first baseman. Yeah, this guy's going to be good. Catcher and first base. I have a feeling we're going to have a lot of mid-round gems in this draft class. All right, so we do take a... Oh, my goodness. Oh, no, that's a closer. We do take a game from LA. We take a series from Houston. Take on the A's. 1-0 here. Wow. 5 pitchers contributed to a shutout. All right, I think both of these guys are going to jump up the board. And Galindo can play catcher. I don't know if he really can play catcher, but he can sit behind the dish. And how is our pitcher scouting going? We are probably going to scout international through week 8. Goals to get to the front office eventually. The Marlins high A team is local to me, so I can try to get my foot in the door. The Marlins triple A team is local to me. I'll give him a holler. That's actually interesting. I never thought about it that way. Like you kind of work your way up almost as if you were a player. Like start in high A and then work your way up. I never really thought about it that way. Or have you looked at internships at all with major league teams? Would you be willing to move? That might be a play too. I can do finances for the Marlins. I can do finances. I understand baseball metrics, but I'm not on the cutting edge like that. All right, so we win the A's series. We take on the Tigers. They're 24-17. So they're right behind us. The AL Central has been unbelievable in this save file. We lose game 1, lose game 2, and we get swept. And we get swept. And that is 4 in a row. We would be hard-pressed to lose more than 4 in a row at any point throughout the rest of this stream. Okay, so he moved up a little bit. I kind of want to finish Galindo's profile just because I have 2 position player scouts going and we can do it. But Richard Yu, I'm not as thrilled about. I really thought he was going to move up more. And we would know by now. So let's go to other positions. Oh, I missed a couple chats here. I think my desired area would be becoming a scout. That's awesome. Yeah, that would be really cool. A lot of travel. Imagine finding somebody like Trout. You know what was interesting about Trout too, right? Is that he was in New Jersey. And I want to say, wasn't he picked like 24th overall? I could be wrong about this. Mike Trout draft pick. 25th overall. I was close. And part of the thing was that the competition wasn't as good in New Jersey. So that was the skill of scouting, was imagining and projecting his tool set, in a different environment. And they absolutely nailed it. And now he's gonna die on the Angels. All right, Matt Centrell. I know this is a late round guy, but we're gonna just look at him because I feel pretty good about Matt here. All right, let's see. I'm in high school and coaches helped coach like 3 of my sports teams. I'm in high school and coaches helped coach like 3 of my sports teams last year. You'll have to explain that one for me a little bit. So that was it like the basketball coach was also the baseball coach and the football coach, that kind of thing. You're in Wisconsin right now. Put one in for the Brewers in spring training, and they filled all their internship out. Brewers would be like, that's got to be a great front office to get in. Great front office. They are unbelievable. Tried us from your hometown, went to the same high school. There you go. Are there mods for MLB The Show? I know you can play it on PC, though, like Xbox streaming, but I don't know if you can mod that. I'm not sure. I think it'd be more fantastic if SDS altered scouting to be more centered around their stats in college and high school. Once you've, yeah, kind of like, for example, instead of seeing the potential ranges and stuff, you would be seeing max exit velo, sprint speed, reaction time, stuff like that. Kind of the measurables that they get at like the draft combine would be pretty cool. All right, first trade, at least first blockbuster of the year. The Cubs are buyers. Carlos Irizarry was on my team at some point. I'm almost positive I had this guy. He is getting passed around. So Salas and Campbell. All right. Take a series from the A's. We're going to check on the stats here. We'll probably get a little closer to the All-Star break and check on some stats. 32-19. I mean, the Tigers are right there with us. And Galindo did not move up the board anymore. So that was kind of a choke. Cantrell, I definitely want to finish his profile, and let's find somebody else. So I just keep shuffling through the positions, and I'm just kind of looking for, you know, high potential. At this point in the rebuild, it's all about just finding high potential. Even non-ranked guys like this. So so he's got a max overall of 59, max potential at 99. Open up his profile. There's no outlier stats. That's really kind of all I'm trying to do here. And, you know, it's not a guarantee, but good chance that this non-ranked guy gets scouted. And even though we're in week 8, I'll know that I have this guy for, you know, the final round of the draft when the time comes. So that's why I'm going to scout him. Because again, at this point in the rebuild, I just need as much potential as possible. KC takes 2 from us. We split the series. We take on Cleveland, win game 1, lose game 2. And there we go, Matt Centrell. So that is a big jump. When you see a big jump like this, that is pretty much guaranteed mid to high A potential. So I know the profile doesn't look that cool right now, but this guy's going to be very high potential. He plays all the different positions. So this is someone, like, if I look at my picks here, we pick at 106 and 136. Because he started as 145, I'd be looking to take him somewhere around there. And now I'm going to switch over to Central for my starter scout. We'll finish Suzuki until he gets ranked. And let's keep looking. What was Suzuki? He was third base. All right, so let me go to shortstop. Oh, I forgot about Clay Phillies. So this is who I want in the first round if we can get him. I think I want to look at Blaine. 22-year-old toolsy shortstop here. All right, so we won that Guardian series. We play KC again. I think KC might be starting to emerge out of their rebuild here because they were bad throughout my entire video. And they just swept us. So I think they might be starting to emerge. There's Nolan McLean. Who was it that was saying that Nolan McLean is always a good example of high stuff, but having a 5 ERA? He's got a 6 ERA right now with the Mets, and he completely shuts us down. Okay, 7 innings, 1 run. Caminero's on the Mets. How about Caminero, you guys? How about Caminero this year? I think it was 8 home runs in 6 games, I want to say. He homered in 6 straight games. Ooh, is Suzuki not going to get on the board? I'm going to finish his profile. We've got enough leeway to experiment a little bit at this point of the rebuild here. Keith Telshaw. Keith Telshaw. Okay, so we do get that series from the Metros. Nationals sweep. Oh, Louis Varland to the Cubs. So the Cubs are they've been the biggest buyer so far. That's 2 blockbusters. And they go for Louis Varland, former Twin. And they trade a C potential starter. All right. Rockies. Okay, so we're back on it. That's 7 wins in a row. Telshaw looks promising, and Suzuki did not get ranked, so that was just a complete brick. Complete brick. Let's find some more later round guys if we can. Patrick Bolich. Yeah, we'll take a look. We'll take a look. Me, LOL. Yeah. Okay. Sorry, Papa. Took my brain a minute to catch up to that. A speedy center fielder, well-rounded. Sure. How are we doing on the starters? All right, not that great. Yeah, Nolan McLean. Yeah. Oh, you know what? Let's take a look at the stats here. I've not checked the stats. Check the stats yet. All right, so we are, let's see, June 13th. So we're 80 games in. We're like right at the halfway point. That's perfect. Wait, did I just make that up? No, we're not at the halfway point. We're 70 games in. But let's take a look at how we're doing here. So Aranda, 1-dotting it. Unbelievable. No signs of regression. Some stats moving around a little bit. Well, maybe, I guess. Yeah, no, discipline's going up. Power left going up. He's got 20. No, we're 60 games. Wait, no, he hasn't played every day. What am I talking about? We're 70 games in. 26 homers for him in 60 games. What is his durability? 79? Because I noticed that he only plays about 130 games a year. Which I don't quite. He played 162 with the Rays before I traded for him. Kind of confused about that, but he is playing great. So no complaints. Bartolo Guardado, one of our young guys here. So he's our DH. Homegrown talent here. He's got 14 homers, 18 doubles, 14 homers, 50 ribbies, batting .303. Really good. Really good. Kirby, who got a nice extension here in the offseason. So he's played all but 1 game, 17 homers, 546 slug. K rate's down a little. Walk rate's also down a little. Wow, he walked 12% last year. What's his discipline? 78. Okay. Florentino, rookie. No, what am I talking about? I think I've just had him on my bench most of this time. Walker Jenkins, 821. That is good to see because we also gave him the long-term deal, and that would be a career high. His best was 811 before that point. Yeah, Francisco Alvarez has not panned out. Has not panned out for me. 2 years into your Giants rebuild, you have 10 95 plus potential 18 to 20-year-olds in the farm. Yeah, you are in a good spot. You're going to have a super team. That's awesome. and the Giants need some love right now. It is a shit show in San Francisco right now. It's a shit show. I think Buster Posey's on the hot seat, you guys. I don't know what is going on over there. All right, how about the pitchers? Let's start with our starters. Huey's killing it. Bryce is killing it in the last year of his deal and regressing. Great season. Caminiti, finally, kind of been waiting on this day. 321. Last year was good. Where's John? John's our worst starter. Our generational starter is our worst starter right now. The whip is high. 133, that's a little high. Walk rate's high. FIP's not bad. FIP is not bad. He's just walking a few more guys. He's probably just had some bad timing, frankly. Maybe giving up a few 2 or 3 run shots. Let's keep our eyes on him. How about the super pen? Oh, Graceffo, 3-6. All right, that was our one free agent in the pen. How about the super pen? What do we have here? Ed Randolph leading the way. Okay, Eduardo Vasquez. Another good year from him. He's been really consistent. And then Luis Ruiz. I mean, the profile is incredible. So this was my the first closer that I drafted in the video for the super pen, Luis Ruiz. I think I took him in the my third pick in that class. 21-2. All right, he's finally doing it. He's doing it. 119 whip. I don't understand why the Ks per 9 has gotten so low for him. When he started with an 11. I don't understand that. I mean, he has 91 Ks per 9 right and 92 versus left. Why is he not striking more guys out? It's really interesting. 12 years into a Red Sox rebuild, 0 World Series rings in 7 appearances. I have a generational closer you drafted. Really? What was his overall and potential? He has 99 potential closer. I asked Big Relevant the other day. I was like, have you seen a generational closer? Because I've seen high potential. I don't think I've seen 99. Let me look at Ruiz. He'd probably be a little higher if he had 99. He's got 93. Tell me you drafted him with 99 potential. Because I was wondering about that. What were his stats coming out? $10-0 against the Rock Show with Isaac on the mound. 7 scoreless for Isaac. Okay, that's great. Only 1 walk. That is a good sign. He was 79 overall with 99 potential as a closer. Okay, that's good to know. That is good to know. I've been trying to find one of those guys. They're hiding from me. Okay, 7 innings, 3 earned. No walks for Isaac. And then Yogo blew it. Injured, of course. All right, I'll finish the profiles. I don't know if I love what I've found so far here. That's awesome, Jake. I'm jealous. What is this? Why is this a blockbuster? Am I missing something here? All right, take a series against the White Sox. Okay, here come the Tigers. So we're 4 games in front of the Tigers, and the Royals do seem to be playing better. 4 games in front of the Tigers. Lose game 1 with Isaac on the mound. What is he doing? Win game 2. Okay. All right, so Thiel is going to... Okay, Thiel's a good option. Thiel's a good option. Kind of random, but your scouting guide was really helpful. First year of my Cardinals rebuild, I got a generational center fielder. Was my first of the year, although I've done only maybe 6 drafts. Yeah, you haven't done enough yet, but yeah, that's good to hear. Thank you. Yeah, I'm glad it was helpful. There's a lot of great guides out there. There's a lot of great guides, so check them all out. That was my take on it. But yeah, that's awesome. I mean, that's like the best part of franchise when you find a generational guy. It's just the best. All right, so I haven't looked at right field really. Personal favorite prospect I've ever drafted. One that stands out is from the video where I tried to, with no spoilers, tried to break the single season home run record for a team. I think I called it the most powerful team of all time. And I drafted a player named Juan Ortiz, who had a really unique build in that game that I did not see very often, where he had insane power right out of the gate, like 80 power on each side, but the contact was really concerning. Like it seemed like he was never going to quite make it. I mean, when I drafted him, I was like really excited with the power, but in the back of my head, I was like, I don't know if he's really going to actually access that power just with the low contact. And he ended up getting to like 75 contact left and right and blew past his potential by like 5 or 6. Like I think he was maybe 88 potential and ended up as like a 96 overall or something insane, and just blew through all of his ceiling. And just because it was in the video where I was trying to find power prospects that I felt like were harder to find in 25 than they are in 26. That one I think about a lot. I think about in my first draft, only in MLB 25, I had a generational player, Corey Williams. I think he was a shortstop. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, Shifty. Yeah, that guy really stands out to me because I felt like that profile was very hard to find in MLB The Show 25. Just my experience. I think it's a little easier to find some more monster power guys in 26. 350 every season with 60 bags. That's gnarly. Yeah, that season he got the MVP, and then David Chan, who was my generational guy, was up there too, and then I think it was Jordan maybe was 3rd. So we had all 3 of the top of MVP voting in that year, if I'm remembering that right. That I'm sure there's some prospects I'm misremembering, but those are a few that come to mind just off the top of my head. Wow, there's just nobody in right field, huh? All right, we'll circle back around. I don't know if I'm loving this. Oh, of course, this guy's injured. Come on. I might take him anyway. Let me, let's cancel the starter scouting and find another late round closer because I think I might need some more contingency here. All right, let's go back through here. One last look. So I did want to scout this guy. I just don't really trust that someone could have 86 contact right out of the gate. Plus, he's ranked pretty high, and I don't want to risk it here. I could look at Pena. How'd I get the full 0 overall team? I'll show you right now. I'll show you right now. So let me just save this. All right, so you go to create. All right, yeah, Josh Young. So you go to create, go to vaults, and then go over to roster, and then just search 0 overall, like this. And then you could pick from here. So Nationals, Baltimore, Cleveland, Rays. So other people have made all of them. Making a custom roster is a little more to explain. So for some rebuilds, I have to make more of a custom roster. But this is the best way to do it. So just go search in the vault for 0 overall, and then when you find the one you want, just click on it and click download. I can't do this because I'm going to spoil something, so I can't click download right now. But just click download, and then when you go to start your franchise, you go to start new and click load your own roster, which I also cannot click because I will spoil something. So that's what you do. Chan is an absolute legend. Chan, tell me what you guys think about this. I had this idea where I would make custom baseball cards with some of my players that became like notable or popular, and then have them like in a store someday, to the point where like it's worth it for me to have like a merch shop or something, if that ever happened down the road, where you could like, but I don't really know if people would be interested in that, but it was just an idea that I had. I was like, oh, people love to collect cards, and what if I just had kind of like a few cards you could pick? I don't know. It was something I thought of. Don't tell anybody else about this. I'm going to steal my idea. I wish the dynamic potential was better in this game. I used to do a rebuild in FIFA, and it was very... Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. Yeah, and it seems to just kind of go up and down randomly. Yeah, stumble upon a Trujillo, 92 potential, 98 overall. Those are truly the generational within the generational. Those are just incredibly rare. They can have that high contact out of the gate, but rarely not worth the shot. Yeah, no, I agree with you, Jake. What would you do? Make a Padres or Mariners franchise more interesting to start? More interesting is a good question, because I could really look at that a few different ways. Interesting in the challenge element of the Padres and the fact that they have some really concerning long-term deals on their books, and you'd have to kind of figure out how to maneuver your way through that. Or interesting with the Mariners in the fact that they have some really good pitchers in their farm system, and you could just have like a monster pitching staff for a long time. The Mariners are very, very well run Major League Baseball organization, at least in the last 5 or so years. The Mariners are a really good organization, and they like to trade with my Rays. They're homies with my Rays, so I like them. So thank you for Ben Williamson this year. You'd be interested in those? Yeah, I thought it would be a cool idea. I just wasn't sure. I did a lot of research on it, whether or not it would actually be possible for me to get these like manufactured, and there were some artists that I could get it, that I could have them do it. I called my local card shop. This is kind of a funny story. I called my local card shop and I was like, hey, if I wanted to make, I'm not a huge card collector guy. I have some from like when I was younger, but I called them and I was like, hey, can you guys make custom cards? Like if I gave you the print of what I wanted, do you have the materials to make them for me? And the guy who answered the phone was like, oh, I have no idea how they're made. You should ask ChatGPT. And I just started laughing. I was like, all right. Okay, I meant to pick other guys and I just completely forgot. All right, so we need to scout. Is there anybody that I want to finish their profile since I'm an idiot and just zoomed through that? We already know Matt Cantrell's going to be unbelievable. We already know Phillies is going to be unbelievable. No, let's find a couple 21 or 22-year-olds here that we can scout in 1 week just to finish this thing out. Oh, man, this guy's kind of interesting. I don't really think he would fall to me. But since we really need first base, I'm going to look at Glenn Young. I'm going to look at Glenn. How about we'll do that? We'll scout a couple older first basemen in the last week here, just because I know that's a position in need in the farm system. And I think we're about ready to head to the draft. So I'm going to stop the day before as we're on a 4-game win streak. Austin Riley to the Padres. So we're on a 4-game win streak, and we're looking pretty good. I think we're going to win this division. I would throw Rays up there in top run organizations as well. And that's me trying to avoid my bias as a fan. Brewers might be number 1. Let's see. Now, I think the best run organization is unfortunately the Dodgers. I really do. I think they're number 1. I know they have $1 trillion and it's not fair. They're in LA. They have all these private investors, but they're really smart. They're really, really smart. And they're great at player development. They're great at everything. Everything. I'd put the Dodgers number 1. Then right below that, I would put the Brewers, Rays, Mariners. Yankees recently, because they've gotten a lot better at pitching development. Let me look at the teams. I think the Marlins are going to be considered the new Rays in about 3 years with Peter Bendix, who, of course, came from the Rays. Cleveland, yeah. Cleveland, very low budget, very successful. Unbelievable pitching biomechanics development, just like another level. I can tell you worst run, the Angels. Not even close. Angels are the worst run organization. Yeah, I think that's about it. Like I think the Cubs just like don't invest in their pitching staff. They love the cut fastball. The Cubs are weird to me. The Cubs are a weird one. They have great defense and it's just a great lineup. And then they just like, I know they traded for Edward Cabrera. I just feel like they're behind on their pitching side of things with the Cubs. Something about it. I think they're really good, though. I think they're a World Series contender this year. No question about it. Most mid, without a question, is the Angels. And it's not even close. They are They're in a. It's like that Moneyball scene where Brad Pitt's like, there's the worst team, and then 50 feet of crap, and then us. That's the Angels. They're really poorly run. It's a nightmare. The Mets are making a run for it. The Rockies, up until this past change in the front office, I'll forego judgment on the Rockies for right now. We'll give them some time, but they were really poorly run for a while. And then the Giants. The Giants are awful. Posey's a nightmare. I'm sorry. Love Buster Posey as a player. They are a nightmare. They're an absolute nightmare right now. I don't know what they're doing. Orioles are a little questionable. A's are a little questionable, but they're doing things. They're investing. They're just in a weird spot. Yeah, I think that's my take. All right, let's go to the drafts. I didn't really love my board except for the fact that we have Clay Feliz, but I think he's going to get taken from me. But this is who I want in the first round. Power hitting shortstop and infielder with some speed. He's going to have high potential, potentially 99. Jose Polanco is interesting. Good hits per 9, decent control. Charlie Roberts is interesting. Okay, so this first baseman, okay. I'd take Glenn Young in the first round, just so we have that plan after Aranda's gone in 2 years. And he looks like fun. Really good hit tool and some great pop. Close to the show. College first baseman, we'll take that. And I think that's really all the guys I'm interested in the first round. This guy has guaranteed high potential, but low control. Could be a good trade piece. I don't think I would take Elmer Diaz in the first round, but I would maybe take him in the second round. I do like some of my mid-round plays a little bit. There's something going on there. In the late round, we are not in a great spot. Not in a great spot. We'll see what happens. Yeah, I can't say that the Padres are the worst run. Because they have a committed, designed strategy to just be all in at all times. And yeah, they've been fairly successful in a really tough division. So I can't say the Padres are the worst run. They now, let's check back in about 3 years and see where they're at, because it could get ugly. It could get ugly in a few years here. Tom Smoke. All right, Clay Feliz, stay on the board for me. Damn it. He went 4th. Clay Feliz goes 4th, and my pitcher goes 6th. And my first baseman goes 23rd. Those were like all the guys I wanted. Those were really all the guys that I wanted. So we're probably looking at Charlie Roberts just because he's going to be valuable. We do get to pick back-to-back here, which is good. We actually have 4 of the next 38 picks, so I think it's got to be Charlie. Just, I don't know, just probably a high potential guy. Now we go back-to-back. Arroyo's interesting. I think Teal will fall. I don't think Diaz will fall. And I'm really interested in Diaz to get that first baseman in the farm system. He'll have high B potential. He'll be we might have to scrape something together for a year. He can also catch. I don't think I would have him catch. Maybe. And I kind of want to go with Elmer. I don't know. I kind of want to go with Elmer. He's got the long... Oh, that reminds me of another prospect. One of my favorites was Graham Williamson in the first rebuild I ever did on YouTube, which was the Rays. Graham Williamson was a generational catcher, and he looked like this. He had long hair. He was super, super pale like me. Feels like I should be watching this by the campfire with a glass of hot cocoa. I think that's what I'm going for. I think that's what I'm going for, Ben. But I also think I need a little bit of background music in the future. And I need a little bit of something else. There's something missing. I'm new to the streaming thing, but we're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. But this is a good start. That's good feedback. All right, who's left? Okay, Theo is still here. Let me add him to the queue because that is very intriguing. Telshaw is still here. That is also very intriguing. Cantrell we're going to get later. Arroyo is also still here. And Arroyo is kind of where I'm leaning here. So Teal, I could... Gosh, this is actually going to be a tough call. Because Teal doesn't look... I feel like Arroyo is going to be a better move here. Higher floor, higher ceiling, starter. And then we would try to get Telshaw in the next round, but he could also get taken. But I think we go with Arroyo. I think we go with Arroyo. All right, are Teal and Telshaw both going to go? No, neither of them. I'm leaning Telshaw. When an older player goes up the board this much, that's usually a very good sign. I know he's going to be low overall at 22, but that's a good sign. Your videos and streams are always a good vibe, man. Thank you. Thank you. I wish that we could dig into the game's code to see things like I wonder if a specific position is more likely to have generational players. I don't think so. From my experience, I don't think so. Although I do maybe find that generational pitchers are quite rare. So let me put it this way. If I include starting pitcher and then the 8 positions in the field. Okay. Hang on a minute. If so 9 positions in the field, right? No. What am I talking about? Yeah, 9 positions in the field. Good Lord. Good Lord. Don't leave the stream. Stay with me now. So the way I kind of look at it is you have a 1/9 chance, right? However, when you look at the draft class, there are like half as many pitchers and half as many, not starters, but there's a lot of starters. But it doesn't quite equate, if you're following me. It doesn't quite, like you'd think there would be more generational starters, but I find them to be very rare. Used your scouting tips to get a generational center fielder in my Rays franchise. I mean, that's just absolutely perfect. And it's the Rays. You have great taste. I've seen so many first basemen who are generational. Yeah. I don't think it's... I think all the positions are equal, including pitcher being 1/9 of that. But honestly, it feels like less than that. I mean, I've seen very few generational pitchers. Very few. And we have one in this Twins rebuild, so it's awesome. I'm going Telshaw here. Wow. I'm kind of just blown away by Keith here. Okay. All right. We need Cantrell at this point. Did my closer not get... maybe he got taken. We're going to run out of picks. We'll have to take some starters. I just don't want to lose Cantrell, so I'm going to take him. Pick 6, 7. Yeah, Jake, yeah, I was blown away. I think he might be a 5-4. I do. Short king. Okay, we're running on empty here. I could take Bolich. I don't really think he's going to be a whole lot. I'll take Bolich. And now we'll just run out some starters. Now here we got Fabio here. Now we got Fabio. So we've got all kinds of talent. Ooh. Do I risk it? On a reliever? Yeah, absolutely. Whoa! Look at Royce. We are collecting them all in this draft. All right, who's an all-star? No starter. No starter. No reliever. 2 closers. So Luis Ruiz, 25-4, 3.25 ERA. Okay, he got the case per 9 up. There we go. That's what I wanted to see. Okay, good. And then Eduardo Vasquez. So he's got 10 holds, 57 innings. He's on pace to have the most innings of his career. He did have 20. Wow, he's been getting a lot of holds. 251, 0.98 whip. This guy's incredibly consistent. This guy's great. No catcher. Aranda. Oh, man. Sal would have been a fun sign, but Aranda's... Wow, Sal is hitting 359. Jonathan Aranda is... Oh, he's still getting better. He's up to 94. Maxed out power versus right. Oh my goodness. Did I see that right? 1.1 for Johnny? This guy, Garrido Dorito, is popping off. Year 5 of a Padres franchise using Preller's approach made the playoffs each year, with 3 out of 5 seasons being 98+ wins. My favorite year is 2030. Caminero MVP, good. Salas Rookie of the Year, 2030. Oh, wow, he took a while to develop. I do think they like Salas, though. I think they're gonna keep him because that's like a Preller special where he went, to LATAM. I don't know where exactly Salas is from, but Preller is a genius at signing international prospects. A genius. Keith Caraballo, absolute dog. He threw 103 and went 5 in a row with the Cy Youngs, then disappeared off the face of the planet. I like hearing the lore of your guys' rebuilds. Jonathan Aranda, by the way, is a monster. 414 on base, 700 slug. What's up, Scrawny? Yeah, this is late for me. I've had a couple of cold ones. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm off tomorrow, and we are deep in the weeds of a Twins franchise here. We're deep in the weeds. How are you? Well, we lost JJ, and he goes to the Mariners. Kirby's here, and that is his max potential. He's maxed out his contact versus right. Just a really solid Kirby season, it seems like. Got his new contract. Life's good for Kirby. Guardado is here. He's DHing. He's not playing short. That looks like it's it. A couple cold ones. I'm having, this is a local beer. It's called Funky Buddha. It's called Funky Buddha. It's just a light beer. It's just a light one. But, you know, they go down easy, which can be a little bit of an issue. All right, facing my Rays. Bryce Miller versus Brody Hopkins. How is Brody looking? This is the Rays' best pitching prospect. They did not give him a whole lot of love here, and this is not how he plays in real life. That is for sure. This guy is feast or famine. This guy is feast or famine in real life. He has like the best fastball of all time, but he cannot hit the strike zone. All right, Miller and Hopkins, we win. Francisco and Palmquist. And we win. All right. We're looking good. Year 3 of the Rays franchise. Year 2, Junior 1 MVP. I hope he does that in real life. Year 3, total fall off. No. Rest of the core is Aranda. I mean, Aranda's a cheat code. A cheat code. Simpson and Sanchez. I really think Chandler Simpson has so, like, he's going to be really special when that time comes for him. Once he can get more I want him to watch Ichiro tape on repeat. I want him to just be like going to bed at night watching Ichiro Suzuki hit baseballs. That's what I need from Chandler. This is our guy Keith right here. Short King Keith right here. Hunter Fiducia is also solid in a rotation with Rasmussen, Pepio, Gavin Stone, and Matt. Yep, Matthew Liberatore was a Ray. They traded him. They traded him at some point. That's great. Now, not letting him go, their fan base would never let him live it down. They're already tired of waiting for him. Hang on, who was that? Who was that? You have to tell me who that was about again, Hitman. Good man supporting local brews. Did that say Florida? Yes. Yes, I'm from Florida. Yeah, it's late, but I had the day off tomorrow, and I felt like putting some time in. We've had the chat's been going great tonight. Everyone's been telling me about the lore of their franchise, which, by the way, Scrawny, the lore of your franchise, you've been nailing it. You've been nailing it with your last one. It's been great. It's been great. And I like the little prospect highlight with not the expert. Salas is what it is about. Thank you. Thank you, Almbies. Yes, you're right. You're right. I'm sorry. Preller knows how to get the international free agents. Like Morahone. Morihone was one of his guys, and so he's held on to him. I don't see Morihone ever really um, not being a Padre. Yeah, see, Cantrell's going to be a monster. Well, I mean, he's going to be 55 overall, but this guy's going to have high potential. It's going to be great. Now, does he want to get signed? We'll see. Having a fun time with the lore building. Cool to see what you're doing here. Thank you. Thank you. So a little bit of story time for the chat here. So when I first started making rebuilds, and I had very early days, I emailed Scrawny, and he was kind enough to respond to me and give me some helpful advice that is I still consider to this day. So he's actually the GOAT. That was very nice. He did not have to do that. Do I need to extend anybody? I think we're going to let Bryce Miller walk because unfortunately he's headed in the wrong direction. He still looks good. I'd give him another year, but I just don't think I need him with the way the farm is going. We are letting Alvy walk. It's not been a good situation there. Everybody else we can deal with in ARB. Whoa. We're not losing all our progress here. Hang on now. Yeah, I think Bolich, not great. Not great. Cantrell's going to be great, though. If he accepts the deal. I mean, the team is looking really solid here. I feel like every year this Twins team is kind of a late blossoming team. Although we did come out of the gates hotter this season now that the lineup's more developed and guys like Walker Jenkins are starting to touch closer to their ceiling. South Azina has been a big surprise for me, honestly, throughout this rebuild. He's really turned into a great player. But at the end of the day, 75-56 in year 75 and 56 in year 3, 2.5 back of the Red Sox, 9.5 game lead in the wild card. Okay, you're in a good spot, Ben. Yeah, W Scrawny. No, it really was because yeah, you see what I'm sorry the stream is a little behind, but you see what so like Scrawny knows it's a lot of work to put the videos together. It's a lot of fun. But I think at the time I really underestimated like what it means to actually make good videos and good content that is deserving of like people watching it. And so I learned a lot from Scrawny. It has been a crazy year. I just had my 1 year. YouTube gave me the confetti for my 1 year. It's been great. It's been great. Scrawny, how often do you find a generational pitcher? Because we were just talking. I feel like they're strangely rare compared to position players. I don't know. It seems like I never really find them. Cantrell might have 99 potential. Herrera might work out okay as a reliever. I mean, would it have been more value if I took a starter? Yeah, probably. But, we're having a little fun here. Oh, I completely forgot about the trade deadline. I think we're probably just going to go through it, but let's just take a look for fun. I don't want to take on any long-term deals, so is there anybody in a one-year deal that I wanted? I really don't think I want anybody at the trade deadline, to be honest. Why is Gage Jump maxed out Ks per 9? Yeah, Scrawny, this was the first one I found. Was in this rebuild. Was the first one I found. And I got him with the 17th pick. He was ranked 20th in the class, so he was deep in the class. And I still, let's see. I still don't know how. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know the formula. I really don't know the formula. I just try to just have fun and make the best thing that I can. Try to get a little better each time. That's the way I look at it. Just try to get a little better each time and enjoy myself. Who do I think the biggest show franchise creator is? Well, in terms of subscribers, I mean, it's kind of hard to say because dedicated franchise, I know Ant Ortiz is like 90,000 or something like that. Scrawny is right up there and rapidly climbing. But then you have guys who make more all content around the show, like Cougs. You also have more general franchise creators that play all the games that are really big as well. But as far as like most consistent, highest quality, he's in the chat right now. Yeah, 17 was unbelievable. I truly don't know how that happened. I don't really want to add anybody on this team. I like where we're at budget-wise. And I didn't even realize I was at 200 million this year. I did not mean to go that high, frankly. I think we're okay at this point in the rebuild. But I just don't really see a point of adding anyone. We just need Isaac to play a little better. So I'm going through the deadline here. Did I sign all my picks? I think I did. Cubs acquiring again. They have definitely been the biggest acquirers here. Yeah, I did sign everybody. All right, so we're going through the deadline. Bengal, yeah. Okay, yes, you have the different styles, right? Where like Bengal and gosh, I'm not gonna get some, but you have the styles where they do gosh, what's his name? I'm blanking on where they do kind of the longer term and play. And they have one team and play, really long term, which I think is fun too. For me personally, I prefer kind of in my head when I go into making a rebuild, I'm thinking about it as like a movie. So I just like it. I like it for me being like kind of one contained thing. That's the way I look at it. Yeah, Mr. Hurricane. Thank you. And I think there's another one. Mr. Hurricane's definitely one of them. Yeah. I'd have to look. Maybe Octagonal? Octagonal Gaming? Is that it? Yeah. Which I like if I streamed consistently, that does interest me as like one where I play and I play it on like Legend or something insane. All right. You guys ready to view the draft picks? Is it showtime? And then I'm probably going to have to sim through the rest of this season pretty quick because I am getting tired. Yeah. Yeah. So you kind of have the different styles. You have sort of the contained, contained sort of movie like, and then you have the longer term, which I feel like are great for binging and really good engagement. Really good engagement, I think. Yeah, I really want to do a series similar to what Scrawny's doing. I really would want to do a series. I just have found that those don't go as well for me. And I did a poll one time about like, should I do a series? And people really preferred the single videos. So maybe in the off season, I'll mess around with that. All right, let's view these picks. I don't think it's going to be anything too special. So 2032, you guys can't see it. It's behind my head, but 2032. And that's pretty mid right there. I'm surprised that Roberts had 86 potential. Didn't he go from like 34th up to 6th in the class or something like that? I could be misremembering. I don't think he's going to get righties out. I don't think he's going to get righties out. Did this guy not go up to like 6th in the class? I could have sworn he was going to have a potential. So then I somewhat reached for this first baseman, but this was intentional because I need somebody behind a Ronda. And he's not too far from the show. So we can kind of patch that hole for a little while. Arroyo was also disappointing with 85. I like the profile a little better. This projects to be someone who could pitch in the major leagues. Telshaw, 21 with 93. And then I think out of everybody in that whole draft class, Cantrell was who I felt most confident about the whole time. He's just a long-term play. But a utility guy. We'll let him develop. And then after, yeah, I don't think the reliever was the play. Should have just gone safe with the starter. Pretty mid-class, honestly. Pretty mid-class. Yeah. Yeah. I know what you mean, Scrawny. That is that way with every YouTube series, though. You know. But I really want to do a series just because I feel like I could put so much more into each season, just in terms of editing, like, just editing and storytelling and B-roll and that kind of thing, which you've done. You've done a great job of that. So don't let the views, frustrate you, because I think it's just kind of the nature of the beast. Now, wow, okay, Houston. Who was asking about worst run orgs? Might be Houston. Might be the A's. I did have a feeling this class was going to kind of stink. Willie, okay. Willie Long. I might screenshot this and make a post on this, because that's, I mean, come on. Willie Long with 95 potential. I mean, come on. That's unbelievable. That is unbelievable. Mets blew it. Phillies blew it. Is this the worst draft class of all time? Darren Hoffman, not Darren, don't call me Dustin Hoffman, is here. Guys, this might be the worst class I've ever seen. All right, I mean the D-backs made out okay. I mean, how many teams have we seen with complete yellow? Padres made out okay. Wait. 94 for Clay. Oh, that's Clay. That was my guy. I mean, it makes sense that he got taken this high because there's just nobody else in this class. John Lamb. Wow. All right, that was torture. That was that was rough on the eyes, that draft class. We're going to sim ahead a little quicker. We're going to sim ahead a little bit quicker because I do have to put my head on a pillow here at some point. There's always some trade-off for making different styles of content. Yep. And it's crazy with the algorithm too. If it's not some, it's just it's a black box sometimes. It's a black box sometimes of just what's going to work and what's not. So, like you're saying, most fulfilling, that's where my head's at too. Just try to enjoy it. Have you noticed the draft classes are mostly total garbage after the first divorce? Yeah. I have seen some of them fall off. Yep. Someone commented on one of my videos and said they found that the first draft class seemed to be the best. And I kind of had to think about it for a second. And I was like, yeah, you know what? Actually, it might be. I feel like I need a little more research on it. But they do seem, I mean, that one was awful. That was the worst I think I've seen. That was the worst I think I've seen right there. Okay, has anybody earned a September call-up? I think Cesar might be at his max potential here. Martin is not ready. Blankston could probably play. Eubanks can only play first base. Let me bring Cesar up just because I don't think he's going to be a long-term guy. And we'll give him a couple reps in the show before we ship him out of town. I'd love to bring Eubanks up. He just only plays first base, and we're not getting anybody near Aranda, who's probably going to win the MVP. McGinnis, I don't know. Freddie Cruz is close. He could potentially come up next year. We'll bring Conrad up. Why did I have this guy in single A? Oh my goodness. Forgot I had Bernardo Silva. This guy's a monster. We actually might need to bring back show science, Stronny. We actually might need to bring that back. I I have this. I have one idea that would be show science adjacent, but it would ultimately just become a rant, and I don't really know if I want to do that. All right, I am going to sim to the postseason here. We are on pace for another really good season. 103 wins. That is a new high water mark for us here. So, last year we had 100. I mean, we've steadily climbed up every single year. Last year we had 100. This year, 103. Who's hurt? Okay. And then, all right, let's see league leaders and awards. I'm thinking Aranda's going to get himself an MVP here, but we'll start with league leaders. So Edmundo Francisco with wins and Luis Ruiz with saves. Kirby Bauer with doubles, Aranda with RBI, slug, and OPS. It's a pretty, God, Yordan just does not quit. Unreal. Unreal. TJ Rumfield? Okay. Wow. Kirby Bauer leads the league in doubles with 42 speed? Wish you could edit the draft class quality like you can in most other games because the show's drafts are really good. Yeah. You know what? This is such a small thing. I wish you could edit players to add quirks or remove quirks, because that was something I wanted to do for show science, was to see if quirks, how important quirks actually were. Because the new draft picks only get like one or two of the quirks. None of them can have outlier. Like, why not? Why can't a starter or a reliever or closer have outlier? I really don't understand that. Anyway, all right, let's look at the awards. Hank Aaron for Aranda. MVP for Jonathan Aranda. My goodness. Oof. 50 homers. 122 RBI. I was actually really close with Ben Rice. I think just because we have a little better team and some more RBI opportunities for Aranda, he ends up getting it. And he did it in 135 games. I don't understand why he doesn't play every day. I mean, I guess 77 durability is not quite. Yeah, I guess he does tire out a little bit. So 50 homers, 385 on base. I mean, he just continues to surprise me. Every year when I think he's done the best he's going to do, he does even better. 6.4 WAR at first base. Wow. Nobody here for the Cy Young at all. Nobody here for the batting title. Reliever of the year, Luis Ruiz gets second. Oh, it's Munoz? What? 79 overall? Andres Munoz? Wow. Shout out Scrawny's Mariners here. What a season, my goodness. Wow. Escobedo does not get Rookie of the Year. So this is our shortstop that we brought up this year. Shortstop of the future here. I'm training his power, but it looks like maybe, I don't know how much further his power is going to really go. So he had 34 doubles, which is great, but only 5 homers. I'd love him to be able to get into double digits. We'll see what he can do as time goes on. 5.4 WAR. That's all that great defense. 11% walk rate, 20% K rate. He's a really good at-bat. And then Hank Aaron for Aranda. Just an incredible year. Bryce Miller wins Gold Glove at pitcher. his potential increased, Scrawny. So I signed him, and he was 70 overall. Or I'm sorry, not 70 overall. When I signed him, he was 87 overall with B potential, and has gone up this high. Yeah, I don't know what his potential was when I signed him, but he was 87 overall, and it seemed like that might have been his max potential. And then he just exploded past his ceiling. Munoz at 79 overall sounds pretty lore accurate this season. Your Mariners are going to kick it into gear. They're too good of a team. They're too good of a team to not. They're going to kick it into gear. I'm really glad to see Luis Ruiz put it together here, because I was just shocked that he was thank you, Dodgers. Welcome in. Thank you so much. I'm really glad to see Luis Ruiz have a good year, because he lost his job last year to Kevin Kelly. Yeah, that's more like it. 292 FIP. I mean, he just had this unbelievable rookie year that I've been chasing that. I mean, he had 1.7 WAR as a closer his rookie year. Or not even a closer, just just with holds. He was our high leverage. All right, let me set this roster up. I definitely don't need this many starters up here. Whoa. Well, no, I guess this... All right, this is fine. I don't really know if we can... I mean, we have to put our generational pitcher as our ace, right? He didn't have that good of a year, though. 4.34 ERA, 1.32 WHIP. I don't know if I could put him as our ace. I feel like we give a swan song to Bryce Miller in his final year, coming in with a 3.19, and we put John Isaac in the 2. And let's I've got a lot of pitchers here. We'll put Yogo into middle relief. Edmundo Francisco should be so much better than he has been. But he's gonna go into long relief. So I think we're going Miller, Isaac, Miller, Isaac, Miller, Caminiti. I think we're going up. Oh my goodness. Thank you, Dodgers. I appreciate it. Let's get a good playoff run here. Let's finish strong, right? The Mariners do this every summer, holding out hope that they can again, but between the injuries and brutal underperformances, I can't bank on it. Yeah. Donovan I saw Donovan taking BP off Ichiro. Ichiro was hitting grounders to him, which I thought, or yeah, I guess let me rephrase that. Ichiro was hitting grounders to him, which I thought was pretty cool. Love the vids. Keep it up. Thank you. Thank you. You are an OG, Dodgers. Thank you. All right, let's go win a World Series. I'm cool with this. I'm cool with Escobedo in the 1. 384. 384. Thanks for stopping by, Scrawny. Stay in touch. We'll catch up. I appreciate you stopping in. And best of luck. Keep it up. I caught only do you mean like in person for Ichiro? Because me too. I caught, some of his career, but a lot of it just as a young kid, not He was iconic in that way that like you knew him as a kid, even in, you know, grade school, but couldn't appreciate him until I was older. That's for sure. Wow, Walker Jenkins made it up to 90 overall. That's great. I guess we're just going to go 3 lefties in a row. Whatever. These guys can hit lefties too. This is a good team. Ashton Roberts made it up to 80. Nice. Okay. Who are we going to be facing? We are facing the Yankees. We are facing the Yankees. Favorite player of all time? Yeah. That's reasonable. All right, everybody. Yankees have Hunter Brown, Pete Lambert. Okay. Max Fried, Christian Javier, ERC. They have 7 starters on their playoff roster. Lombard. Oh, my. Very good. Liam Hicks behind the dish. We are much better than the Yankees. This would be a big upset if they beat us. This would be a big upset. All right, game 1, Miller and Brown. And we win 7-6. Game 2, Isaac and Lambert. We might lose this. I feel like Isaac is kind of choking. Yeah, I just had a feeling. Something's going on with our guy this season. He gave up 6 runs. He didn't even get through the 3rd inning. It's a generational pitcher. What are we doing? All right, Huey Miller and Christian Javier. We win. Caminiti and ERC, and we lose. We're going to game 5. We're going to game 5. And I think we're going in. I'm going to simulate it, though, because I am getting tired. We'll have Bryce Miller on the mound. ALDS, Game 5, winner to the championship series. We are at home with Bryce Miller on the mound, 2028 Cy Young Award winner.
That's ball 4.
Clean first.
Ball 4, take your base.
2-run shot from Jenkins. We're on the board.
Ball 4, take your base.
Tie ball game.
That's ball 4. Ball 4, take your base. Save.
Okay. Solo shot from South Azine. We're up 1.
First base.
They hit Kirby. Come on, guys. We're into the pen early. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. We're down 1. Someone's going to have to come up big. Aranda, come on. Yes! Jonathan Aranda. Oh, here we go. Oh, my goodness. We just broke it open. 5 in the 7th. And we win 8-4. Jonathan Aranda comes up huge. Wow. That was not looking great for a second there. Okay. Well, 1 round down. 2 home runs for South Azine. I guess I didn't even really notice that. Or did I? Very good. Okay. So the offense clutches up. And we're taking on Boston. We're just going AL East. Oh, no. John Isaac for game 1. John Isaac for game 1. You gotta lock in, John. Okay. Little more talent going on here. Crochet, still 98 overall. Roman Anthony, Wilyer Abreu, Franklin Arias, Jeremy Pena. Ben Rice. That's right. I remember that. Okay, this will be a little tougher. This will be a little tougher. Isaac and Gore. Game 1, we win. Okay, Isaac had a good start. 8 innings, 1 run from John Isaac. There we go. Here we go. Miller and Ianson for game 2. We win 4-0. I think we swept Boston in the year that we won the World Series last year. So this is a rematch, and we swept them the last time. Caminiti and Crochet, we lose. Miller and Lodolo, we lose. Isaac and Gore again, we lose. We got to win 2 in a row. Miller and Ianson, we lose. And we are eliminated by the Red Sox. We win the first 2 games and then lose 4 in a row. Good Lord. Well, that's it. Let's see who's going to take it all. The Cubs, who were the biggest buyers throughout the whole stream. They were constantly acquiring guys the whole year. Okay. Well, that's it. So 2032, 103 wins. Excuse me. Sorry about that. 103 wins. We lose in the ALCS 2023. That's going to do it. Well, thank you everybody for joining me. 3.5 hours. Pretty good numbers. Pretty good numbers. I'm exhausted. It's 2 a.m. And I got to call it. But that was a lot of fun. More streams to come. I'll probably do a couple more with this Twins team. And yeah, I've got some fun rebuilds on the way. Barry Bonds Jr. will be back this week, in the next week or so. So hopefully that goes well and you guys enjoy that. And for those of you that were in the stream, I really appreciate it. And I'll see you soon. All right. Have a good night. Peace.